Hello everyone, time for a story. Cultural Appropriation, or Beautiful Love, written by Robert Ottone. I think it's been about 3 decades since I died. That may be wrong. I remember being in my hotel room, watching the news here in Shimokitazawa that the Berlin Wall was being torn down. That was after dinner at the restaurant in the lobby, and trying urchin for the first time. I figured, when in Rome, and tried raw fish. While the news played, I drifted off to sleep, in anticipation of returning home to New York the following morning, after a long flight, of course. Business had gone swimmingly here, contracts were signed. The salarymen who took me to dinner toasted our company's unified efforts to renovate sections of Shimbashi and Asakusa. It was an exciting time for me. Lots of money rolling in, lots of trips to Japan on the horizon, until the embolism popped in my brain while I slept. Now I wander the streets of Shimokitazawa, soaking in the sights, forever. I always thought that when we died, we'd get to travel through a light tunnel or something, and I'd get to see my dog, Gary, again, and my grandparents. But instead, I'm stuck in a city where I don't speak much of the language, even after 30 years of eavesdropping on conversations and watching people navigate their lives. I've listened to thousands of breakfast, lunch, and dinner orders, watched thousands of American movies with Japanese subtitles at the bottom. Japanese movies with American subtitles too. There's an old movie theater that went up about 5 years before I got to Japan, and it has stood the test of time. It plays the classics, Blade Runner, The French Connection, and more, all in English with Japanese subs. I go just about every night. The smell of the popcorn is amazing, but I can't eat any of it. I can only just barely even touch it or make it move. I'm getting better at that. I find myself exploring the shops of Shimokitazawa, tea shops, video game stores, record stores, the same kind of places I liked when I was back home in New York. My favorite shop is Kit Kat Records in the heart of the city. They have a great selection of records, but most importantly, they close at 5 in the evening, which lets me work on touching things without drawing attention. I can put on records and play them over the speakers of the store before I go down the street to the movies. Kit Kat is also my favorite because of Manami. She started working at Kit Kat about 10 years ago when she was in her late teens. She's since gone to college, graduated, and become the manager, co-owner of the store. She started getting her degree in art, then changed to business management after her dad came into the store and talked her out of following her artistic inclinations and focusing on something more real. Manami introduced me to new bands and music I never heard before. When she's closing up, she'll put on albums like Trouble Will Find Me, or Antics, or Oracular Spectacular. She bobs her head, her dark hair dangling in her perfect face. I didn't come to Japan to fall in love. I certainly didn't come here to die. But that's what happened. I find myself walking with Manami back to her apartment. I talk to her. Sometimes it seems like she can hear me. She'll smile after I say something funny, or sometimes I'll see her expression change as if thinking about something I said that may be profound or stupid. I can never tell the difference. I've never been in her apartment. That just seems creepy, even to a ghost. I imagine she has cool band posters, candles, incense, and other cool stuff all over the place. Different than my apartment back home in the city, a cold, open space without much personality to it. Now, all of Shimokitazawa is my apartment. Cool vibes and warmth everywhere, even down darkened alleys where stray cats look for food and nocturnal proclivities sometimes go awry. I stand outside Manami's apartment and look down, noticing she's dropped a small piece of red paper. I pick it up, failing the first couple times, and tuck it in my jacket pocket. I'm permanently stuck in the clothes I died in, so I'm in my old Alan Flusser bladed drape until the end of the world, which I assume I'll also be around to see, if it ever occurs. As I walk back to the record store, I think about how I haven't met any other ghosts in my 30 years of death. I wonder if I'm the only one. I pass by a group of salarymen partying at a local bar not far from the record store and smile, hoping they're enjoying themselves. There's no such thing as jealousy once you've passed away. I don't feel sadness or regret or frustration. Loneliness, I suppose. I enter the record store through the back alley door and put on a Blue October album. I've grown to like these guys a lot since dying. It takes a lot of energy to put the record on, and I sit on the counter of the record store and think about how, with the place so dark, it'd be pretty spooky if I wasn't already a ghost haunting the joint. Remembering the paper in my pocket, I take it out and unfold it. A wave of what first feels like panic rushes over me when I see what's written on it. I look at the mirror behind the register, then at the paper again. On the red paper, Manami has drawn a picture of me. My suit, the dopey grin I have on when I see her, my terrible mustache. I recognize the kanji written on the paper as, "I see you." Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Love, the Mistress.